Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for joining me today. I have been away for a minute, nothing major, just some house issues. I haven't done, I think, a curly ink since May, and haven't done a regular video since, I think, June, maybe early July, so I am overdue. Sorry for my absence. Just some minor, not really minor, but some house issues back to back. And because I insist on doing everything myself, it took me a little minute, but everything's good now. So I'm going to do my curling ink for August, and I may flip through and show you what I use for June. I did use these actually July and August because I didn't really write very much in July, so I held them over. So I'm going to go through these, and I'm also going to show you a few new purchases. One from the DC Pen Show, and the other three just regular online purchases that I'll share and probably do reviews later on. So I'm going to get into this with the curling ink for really July and August. I'll zoom in a little bit. First up, we have the Mahjong P140. And then we have a AdMock M800. This is a Montegrappa Mia. An Esterbrook Esty King of the Night. A Visconti Mirage Mythos. Cypress Scepter 07 and the Owl. Penlux Masterpiece Grande Brown Wave. This is a Fountain Pen Revolution Tanushi Urushi art. A Visconti Opera Gold. And the Trusty Palette Custom 823. So I'm just going to do some writing samples and show you the ink that I have in these. So first is the Mahjong P140 with the clear body. I really like how Mahjong finishes their acrylic pens. I think they do an excellent job. Everything's so smooth and clear. So this is the Mahjong P140. This is a number 8 nib, as you can see. Very big nib, plastic feed. It's a piston filler. And this is a fine nib, although it writes very much like a medium, in my opinion. And the ink in here is Jayabon Vert Atlantide, or what is that, Green Atlantis. This pen does have some bounce, or this nib does have some bounce. Reverse, nice in reverse. Kind of gives you a nice extra fine in reverse. So this is a pen up close. You can see the shimmer and the Jayabon Vert Atlantide. Just a beautiful, nice demonstrator. No issues with this P140, even with the shimmer ink. It's functioned pretty flawlessly. So good there. Next is the AdMock M800. It's another demonstrator. Does post, but it's a little long for me. So this is a and it's another fine steel. Also a little bit of a bounce. A little bit of line weight variation. Scratchy in reverse, not very pleasant in reverse. And this pen, I have not a Bond, but a Bond Parfum Violette. I had put that ink in here in, I think, July. And it's a scented ink, and normally I like scented inks, but this one is very off-putting. It has a lavender smell. It's very strong. So I emptied that out, and then I added Private Reserve Infinity Violet to it. But it's still, even when I emptied it, still has a very strong Urban Parfum Violet in it. And yeah, not it writes very nicely, but the smell is just so strong. And I'm surprised it got pretty good reviews. And being as though I like scented inks, I like the spruce. Diamond Spruce is one of my favorites, but this one is almost a bit nauseating to me. But it does write nicely. So there's the nib. It's a Schmidt nib. Pen writes very nicely. Feels very solid too. Nice clone of a Pelican. So I've enjoyed writing with this, despite the smell. Next is the Monte Grappa Mia. I've had this pen for a while. This pen remains my #1. So Monte Grappa. And I've always had diamond writer's blood in it. This is a fine 14 karat. And again, just diamond's writer's blood. There's the pen. This is a cartridge converter pen. It's a nice, just perfect size. There's the Monte Grappa Mia. This is Jonathan Brooks Primary Manipulation, I think 4 maybe. I always forget on this pen. But that's the Mia. My favorite pen. Next up is the Esterbrook SD. My first and only SD so far. And this is King of the Night. This is the pen that came with the horror themed accessories. This is also fine. Steel. Very firm nib, but very nice. Bit scratchy in reverse. And this is inked with Diamond A Night in Jodhpur. So far this is the only ink that I've had in it. I forgot to do the lines for the Mia. Mia, again, it does have some bounce like the others, but not really any significant line weight variation. So in reverse. Next pen is another one of my favorites. June was kind of a disappointing month for whatever reason. I had pens that I all liked, but together and with the ink combinations, they just weren't inspiring to write with. So I decided to put some of my favorites together. So this one's the Visconti Mirage Mythos. And this is the Apollo, I think. I'm sitting at an art desk and I have this stopper that's in my way. Fine steel. This thing is so uncomfortable. Let's see if I can move it up out of the way a little bit. Nice in reverse. And this is inked with Diamond Ancient Copper. And that's pretty much what I've always used. So there's the Mirage Mythos. Nice Visconti nib. Let me go back and show you the Esterbrook Esty up close. Very beautiful resin. And this is the nib. Guess I'm a little rusty with my presentation. I'm a little all over the place, but that's okay. Now we'll go on to the next 5. This one I've shown a couple months ago, I think. This is a cypress. And this is the scepter. And owl. Another fine. Steel. Firm nib. Not too bad in reverse. It's doable. So there's the nib with the owl on it. It's a wood pin. There's another owl. And there's the owl on the clip. Very nice wood pin. And this is inked with Private Reserve Fiesta Red. Again, the only ink I've had in this pen. It's a perfect match. Next we have the Penlux Masterpiece Grande. And this is the Brown Wave. And this is a 1.1 steel. And this is inked with a few inks. We have Birmingham Pen Company's Tiger's Eye, which is kind of almost a fluorescent orange. We have Diamond Golden Sands with a little shimmer. And then we have Emerald de Chivor, not Emerald de Chivor, Jayabon Carib de Chypre, which also has a little bit of shimmer in it. Tiger's Eye was a little bit too bright yellow by itself. And then the Golden Sands was also a little bit too light and yellow. So I just added a little bit of Carib to it to give it this brown. This pen, I had some issues with it. I spoke about a few videos back. For some reason it was leaking from the section. I think it just came unglued a little bit. There was no movement to it at all. So what I did was, over a period of probably 3 days or so, I taped it off around the threads and a little bit around the section, and you can probably see some of the coloration there. That's just shellac. And again, I layered it and layered it over a period of 3 days, and it's been fine. No leaking anymore. I didn't want to send it back because, as I mentioned in my the previous video on this one, I really like the way the stub feels. As you can tell, I'm usually into fines and maybe mediums. I don't have a lot of stubs or broads, but this is just a smooth stub, and you can also get a fine line here. So I love this. I haven't quite found the right ink for it. Golden Sands I thought was the match for it, but on second thought it just seems a little bit too light. But I think this mixture here it's a good start. It's a fat pen, pretty girthy, but I think it's comfortable. It is a piston filler. You can see nice brown wave. I think Penlux makes pretty solid pens. I have another Delgado, Masterpiece Delgado, and the Peacock. No issues with that one. The only issue again was, which I guess could be a pretty big issue, is that the leaking there. I was thinking that I was going to have to send it back, but it seemed to be holding up pretty well. There's the 1.1 stub. Very nice pen. Very happy with this pen. Next pen. This is a Fountain Pen Revolution, and this is Tanoshi Urushi art. I don't know if this is real Urushi. I'm not sure how they do it. They don't really explain on the Fountain Pen Revolution site, so I assume that it's not real Urushi. There's the flex nib. So Fountain Pen Revolution. Tanoshi Urushi art. And this is a flex. Fine. 14 karat. And you can choose your nib with this one. I decided to upgrade to the nice 14 karat gold flex. I love this pen. I love writing with this pen. I do a lot of flexing with it, so it does run out of ink. I had to re-ink it before doing this video. It is inked with Diamond Oxblood, so I tend to go between Oxblood and Writer's Blood for this pen. But here it is up close. My fingerprints. And this is the Red Phoenix, and they have other models. And show you the nib. There's the 14 karat gold flex nib. No issues with this nib. I'm thinking that I'm going to get one of these nibs for my other Cypress pen that I bought with the owl. I think that'll be a good upgrade to that pen. Next is the Visconti. This is the Opera Gold that I bought off of Joma Shop. And this is, I think the color is just black. I don't think there's any fancy name for it. So, Visconti. Opera. I don't know if it's Opera Master Gold or Opera Gold. And this is a broad steel. And I have broad in parentheses, not parentheses, in quotes, because I did tweak it. It was too broad for me. So I did a little tweaking to the nib. But I like the way it is now. And this is inked with Birmingham Pen Company Oil Beetle. So that's the Opera. Nice dark. It's kind of a dark brown with some black and some gold. This is a, so there's the ink window. This is a back filler. And it uses the Visconti hook lock safe. And there's the nib. And lastly, but definitely not least, my top 3 pens is the Pilot Custom 723, Custom 823. And this is a medium 14 karat. This is my favorite 823, and definitely one of my top 3, maybe top 2, maybe after the Mia. This is just so smooth. And there's the Beautiful palette nib. And nothing else really special. I keep my sticker on it. And I filled it up so it's pretty full of ajisai. Or am I? No, actually it's a little low, but it's a good amount in there. Ajisai, Polyroshizuku. Ajisai is pretty much my ink of choice in here. I keep saying that I'm going to change. Maybe try some Yamabudo, but so far that has been my ink of choice. So these are the inks. We have the Jayabon Vert Elentide in the Mahjong P140. You can see a little bit of shimmer there. It's kind of hard to see. Parfume Violette, Urban Parfume Violette, and Private Reserve Affinity Violet in the Admoc. In the Montegrappa Mia, we have Diamond Rider's Blood. Look at the beautiful A Night in Jaipur and the Esterbrook Esty King of the Night. And the Esty hasn't had any issues with hard starting with this viscous sheening ink. Visconti Mirage Mythos Apollo with Diamond Ancient Copper. My ink of choice in that again. In the Cypress Scepter 07 The Owl, we have Private Reserve Fiesta Red. Fiesta Red is a very thick, lubricated. Let's see, you can see there's not quite dry, but does handle very well. Has a little bit of a kind of a gold greenish sheen there, but very nice ink. Then there's the Penlux Masterpiece Grande Brown Wave with the mixture there. Can't see really the shimmer, but there should be a little bit of shimmer there. And the Fountain Pen Revolution Tanoshi Yurushi with Diamond Oxblood. The Visconti Opera Gold with Birmingham Pen Company Oil Beetle. Nice bluish green with some red sheen. And the plain on Ajisai and the Palette Custom A23. And then I'll show you what I had inked, at least my swatches for June. Let's see, what did I have for June? Again, they were all nice pens, but together they just didn't work. They weren't inspiring together, if that makes any sense. Probably doesn't. But I think a combination of the pens themselves and the inks just didn't do it. So I had the Palette Silverin Jaguar with the Auto Tash, which is a little pocket pen. Then I had a Wing Sung 601A and a Mont Blanc 24 with the Lady Emerald Teranishi. And the Waterman CF, which I still have in my other case I've been using. Again, these are all very good pens, but I don't know what the issue was. Platinum Classic Maquille. This is the final with the cherry blossoms. Yeah, the cherry blossoms. And I had this inked with Visconti Sunflowers. Nice ink, but I think this ink with the fine nib just really didn't work. I had a Lamy 2000 with Monteverdi Gems with the garnet. Just real fine. I just didn't want to pick it up. Moonman M800. I had again Private Reserve Infinity Violet in that. My Duke Charlie Chaplin with the Fude nib. I had Diamond Inkprint Solar Storm, which has a nice shimmer in it. And then I kept the Palette Custom A23. I've had that in my case for some months now. But all in all, I mean, they were good. It just could have been June and the start of summer and just not really being wanting to really write. So I'm going to show you also, a few new purchases, and I will probably do reviews of these at some point. But this is the TWSBI Serpentine, TWSBI Eco Serpentine. It's a very popular pen. And I got this, I bought some ink from Goulet Pens. They have a store exclusive with Monteverdi of some shimmering ink. So this has one of those. So this is a TWSBI Eco Serpentine. This is of course a fine steel. And I hope TWSBI does more of this kind of swirly resins. You know, the break from the monotony of the solid colors. So that's just a regular old Eco, but with a little swirly resin. Just I think a nice addition. This is a very firm nib, but this nib, just like most TWSBIs, has not had any issues with this shimmer in here. And it's a pretty aggressive shimmer, although you may not see it. You can see it when it settles in the pen. But this is Monteverdi and Goulet. This is Parrotfish Purple. And I also have the Tide Pool Teal, and I forget what the other one is. And this is my first Caran d'Ache. This is a medium. Oh, the model is the 849. Nice smooth nib. I do have another shimmering ink in here. This is the Robert Oster. This is the black and blue. I see really only black, but I guess there's a little blue under there. So this is the shimmer in it, and the black and blue. I guess it's either a blue, well, I guess maybe that's why they call it black and blue. It's blue shimmer and black ink. Is that what that is? But you see all that shimmer. This is a Robert Oster signature ink. This Shaken Shimmer series. It's my first, I think my first shimmering Robert Oster ink, and it performs pretty well. So that's the Caran d'Ache 849. A little bit of a thin pen. This section is pretty thin, so may not be for everyone. So that's Caran d'Ache. And then we have two Grail pens. There's always another Grail. So the first one is another pen that I bought from Goulet. And this is the Scribo Laudata Saragossa. It's a nice, beautiful resin. Our first Scribo. So this is Scribo. When I saw this resin, I was just, oh, I got to have that. Sarah. I didn't get it right away. It did take me a little bit to finally pull the plug on it. So in here I had Monteverdi Goulet Tide Pool Teal. But it didn't really like it too much, I don't think. It didn't really care for the shimmer. This is a piston filler. topical, so I put a little Diamond Aurora Borealis. So it's a combination of the two. And this is a fine 14 karat flex. It has a beautiful flex. And it also could be that it was just out of the Tide Pool Teal, because I do flex it a lot. I don't think, whenever you constantly flex these pens, you're going to be using a lot of ink. So maybe it was just that it was empty. But beautiful pen. I was never really had a scribble on my radar until I saw this color pattern here, and I bought it. It's kind of a hefty price, but very happy with it. So that's that one. And then my only purchase, and it comes with this nice little case. Comes with this case. And I went to the DC Pen Show, and my goal was only to get one pen, maybe some ink. So I did. I only got one pen, and the ink that I got was freebies. So from the freebie table. So for me, the DC Pen Show is a little bit overwhelming as a introvert with all the people. So I pretty much plan out what I want, and I just look out for that table, and then I kind of just leave. So this is a Santini, and I wanted a Santini probably since I started this journey, and never pulled the trigger on it. But I said, since there's a DC Pen Show, I'm going to go by their table and see what they have. And I picked this up. Now, my ideal Santini, they had versions of it there, but my ideal Santini is this color, but in the ebonite, the limited edition, but I didn't see that there. So I went ahead and got the resin version. But hopefully at some point I can get that that rosewood ebonite version, the limited edition. And I've been writing with this so much, and there was a little leaking going on with it too, so it may be empty. I pulled it out of the case, and there was ink all in the cap. So I reseated the nib, and it stopped leaking, I think. So let me refill this with the same thing I had in it. So what I have in here is Andoryllium Cuttlefish Brown. Trying to be a little matchy-matchy. And this is a huge nib. They say it's a number 8, but it's actually a little bit bigger than squeaky. It's actually a little bit bigger than the typical number 8s that are in my collection. So that'll do for now. Just try to get through the video. So this is the Santini, the Giant 8. And it's just, I think they call it rosewood brown, if I'm not mistaken. And this is a fine, of course. It's 14 karat. Just have a little bit of bounce to it. Well, actually quite a bit of a bounce. I don't know if do they advertise this as flex? I'm not sure. But that's the Santini with the Andoryllium Cuttlefish Brown. See it up close here. There's the big nib with the S on it. Pattern down there. There's the piston knob and the cap. See, it's a big pin. You can post it, and while it's big, it doesn't feel back weighted. It doesn't feel awkward at all. Definitely, for me, it works posted. And so I was saying that this number 8 seems to be a little bit bigger than the typical number 8. So this is the P140 nib, and this is the Santini giant 8 nib, and you can see how much bigger it is. It's almost as big as the nib on the July 930. So it feels like it's probably like if there's such a thing as an 8.5. But I'm very happy with this. It doesn't bother me the size. I'm pretty comfortable writing with big nibs. The only thing is I have to put my hand down pretty far on the section, and it feels fine in both hands. 14 karat. But yep, so that's my Santini purchase and my Scribo. So that's all I have for you for the month. Sorry I was away so long, but you know, these things happen because I'm so hard-headed. I refuse to not try to fix some of these things on my own, that it takes me a little bit longer. So I was preoccupied, but thank you for your patience, and thank you for joining me today. I hope you're all doing well. It's beautiful weather here in Maryland. I hope it's beautiful where you are. But with that, have a great day, and I will catch you next time. Take care.